Hello, this is Alleen Lindley. I'm Director of GT and Advanced Academics for Katy ISD, and I'm here to present this session on Pre-Advanced Placement, or Pre-AP, our secondary advanced academic program beginning at grade 6. This is an information session for parents. Our goals for this presentation include providing information that will assist parents and students in making decisions about secondary course options, providing information on advanced course options for grade 6, and explaining how GT students are served within the Pre-AP program. When we say Pre-AP, we're talking about Pre-Advanced Placement, which is typically in grades 6 through 10. These courses provide challenging curriculum for students who are ready for advanced coursework, and they support the development of skills and concepts necessary for success in advanced placement courses in high school. I'm going to now spend just a little bit of time talking about the AP courses we offer in high school. These are not offered in the junior high level. The Pre-AP is in 6, 7, and 8. AP does not start until the students get into high school. But AP is the goal of Pre-AP, and so we're going to talk a little bit about what is advanced placement. Advanced placement are college level courses that are generally available for grades 10 through 12. We have a couple of courses that 9th graders can take, but most of the AP courses start at grade 10. These are courses designed and administered by the College Board, and Katy ISD offers AP courses in math, science, social studies, English, world languages, fine arts, and computer science. At the end of an advanced placement course, students can elect to take an exam. These are 2 or 3 hour exams, and they're made up of a multiple choice and free response sections. They're administered in May at the end of the school year, and scores of 3, 4, and 5 are generally accepted for college credit. In fact, in the state of Texas, it is required by state law that for Texas public colleges and universities, they must accept scores of 3 or better on an AP test for college credit. But it's not just about the college credit. It's also about students experiencing that college level instruction while in the supportive homeschool environment, students developing college level analytical and study skills, and students gaining academic confidence. We also know that college admissions officers value courses that challenge students to the greatest extent possible, and so the courses that students select to take in high school are considered in the college admission decision. Additionally, we also know that taking an AP course and the accompanying exam helps prepare the student better for college and helps the student earn a bachelor's degree within 4 years. You see the probabilities of students who have varying performance levels on AP exam and various participation levels in dual credit or dual enrollment in AP, and the more successful they are in AP, the greater the chances that they will earn a bachelor's degree in 4 years. Our Pre-AP program starts at grade 6, so students entering the junior high from the elementary will be their first exposure to pre-advanced placement. These courses are designed to better prepare students for the academic rigor of the AP courses when they get there. It's not advanced placement. We're not teaching AP calculus to 6th graders, but what we're doing is we're laying the groundwork. We're laying the foundation for these students and accelerating that instruction so that they're ready for AP when they get into high school. When we design our Pre-AP curriculum in Katy ISD, it is built upon the core academic curriculum, so it has that in common with the on-grade level academic curriculum, but it is considered academically advanced. By that we mean that it either has additional curriculum objectives, it has more sophisticated above grade level resources, and has higher performance expectations than the on-grade level academic course. These courses are developed with a concentration on building the student's capacity to understand rigorous content. And so the goal is to have the Pre-AP course at 6th grade at advanced level above grade level, but as they progress through, the difference between academic and Pre-AP is going to be greater as they move up through the grade levels because we're accelerating that instruction to prepare them for AP. Let's look at each of the 4 core areas and the course options that are available to students in each of those 4 core areas. In English Language Arts, at 6th grade, students have an option of 2 pre-AP courses, one in reading and one in English. That same scenario exists at 7th grade, and then 1 English course at 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, with AP starting at the junior level with AP English Language and then AP English Lit as seniors. The difference between the academic and the pre-AP English Language Arts classes include summer reading, that there is a summer reading requirement for pre-AP beginning after 5th grade. An emphasis on timed writings, because timed assessments is a part of the AP assessment process, and so we're going to start training students for that experience beginning in 6th grade. And we're also going to focus more on authors of merit rather than young adult literature. There is an overlap between those two, but we're going to concentrate more on the definition of what is a work of literary merit, and we're going to concentrate on more advanced works of reading in these courses. In social studies, you see that we have pre-AP courses at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then we have options at 9th and 10th that include either pre-AP or AP, depending on the student's readiness to enter into the AP course. And then AP courses available at the junior and senior levels. There are also a number of social studies AP electives like European history, psychology, another economics course, so a variety of options in social studies in AP. The pre-AP program in social studies concentrates on primary and secondary document analysis. It concentrates on outside reading in addition to the textbook reading and holding students accountable for that independent reading. It's also going to focus on thesis and essay writing and really try to develop those students' note-making skills to better enhance or understand concepts as they are developed in the classroom. In science, again, we have pre-AP science courses at the junior high level, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. At 9th grade, they get into the more discipline-specific science courses, biology and then chemistry, and the AP course sequence starts at the junior level. So in those pre-AP science courses, we're building those science skills that they are going to need for some independent lab work in the AP courses, independent lab design, lab reports, and independent scientific thinking throughout the pre-AP science course. And then there's mathematics. There is a special case in mathematics. The goal of pre-AP mathematics in grades 6 and 7 is to get students ready for success in Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. To that end, there is an accelerated curriculum in 6th and 7th grade. For 6th grade pre-AP, the curriculum includes all of 6th grade math and half of 7th grade math. And then 7th grade pre-AP includes all of the rest of 7th grade math and all of 8th grade math. So it is 3 levels of mathematics in 2 years. So it is much accelerated. And what that allows the student to do is to take algebra by 8th grade. And then they're ready for geometry, algebra 2, pre-cal, and they can get to calculus by their senior year. This is the traditional or standard course pathway for students who take pre-AP 6th and 7th grade mathematics. Here are the differences between the academic and the pre-AP. This is a matter of pacing and extracurriculum in the junior high so that they can access these higher levels of mathematics before they graduate from high school. We know that making course decisions is a difficult one for parents, especially coming out of the elementary, and students have not had the opportunity to take advanced or above grade level curriculum at that point. We apply the College Board equity policy to our practice in Katy ISD, and that we want all willing and academically prepared students the opportunity to participate in AP, but they have to have access to that challenging coursework prior to the AP courses, and so that's how we've designed our pre-AP coursework. We recognize the value of student participation in advanced academic coursework, and we encourage students to graduate from high school with advanced academic course credit. We encourage our students to access the most rigorous curriculum in which they can be successful, and by our definition that means earning a C or better semester average. We know that for some parents that may seem like a low standard, but we also know that a great number of our students do C or better work, actually better work, in these courses, and so it is a nice opportunity for students, first of all, to be challenged, but also to be successful. Our courses are designed to challenge students beyond grade level academic courses and prepare them for success in future advanced level coursework. And we know that student performance in related courses and teacher input are very important elements for parents and students to consider as they determine whether or not they're ready for that advanced coursework. Students may require additional encouragement and support to be successful in these courses, and we have built into our work at the junior high and high school levels offering that tutorial support, additional support for students so that they can be successful in these courses. We do ask that students who opt to participate in pre-AP successfully complete the prerequisite courses as specified in the course catalog, that they have already demonstrated mastery on course-related state-mandated performance assessments such as STAR. Our advanced academic program is not a remediation program, so we are asking that students already have grade level mastery of the previous grade level to really access these courses. We also want students to recognize the long-term benefits of participation, to seek assistance when they need it, and to commit to staying in the course for a minimum of 1 semester. We say that because we know that oftentimes it does take some time for students to transition to the higher academic standard in an advanced academic course, which was not available at the elementary school. And so we want students and parents to allow sufficient time for that transition to take place. So our recommendations as you make a decision about pre-AP and AP is to consider those state performance and other course-related performance data, review the semester averages that students have earned in their core classes, have the student do a self-assessment in terms of their attitudes and their study habits, and please consider their personal and academic interests and strengths as you make this decision. We want to encourage students to remain in the advanced course so that prior to exiting, we want them to do some things just to document that they have put forth their best effort. If they're being successful, that means a C or better, they have the capability of making a C or better average for the semester, they should remain in the course. If they petition to exit, we want them to have conferenced with the teacher and talked about their performance with the teacher. We want them to have completed all class assignments because we want to make sure that they have made their best effort to be successful in the course. And we want them to have attended recommended tutorials if the teacher has made that as a recommendation. And of course, determining whether or not a student gets to exit is based upon input from the teacher, the performance in the class, and the availability of space in other courses. And to some degree the timing of the request. As it gets close to the semester, there may be less opportunity to exit because that transition to a different class late in a semester is a very difficult transition to make regardless of the reason why. We do want you to remember that we have just as many students taking 0 pre-AP courses as we have taking all. So there is a wide range. You can take 0, you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5 pre-AP courses in the junior high. And we also want you to remember that math requires special consideration because of that acceleration and concentration in 6th and 7th grade. This is a quote from a colleague of mine. Some A's are not as good as some B's, and I think that parents and students need to remember that sometimes the easy A does not represent as much learning as a hard-earned B. That's not to say that all students are going to make B's or lower in these classes. It's just something to consider as they transition to a higher level of academic expectation. Please remember that advanced academics was not an option in elementary school. They were all in grade level curriculum. In pre-AP, we are moving them into an advanced above grade level experience. And so there will be a transition to that, and junior high is a great place to make that transition. We have a list of frequently asked questions that just to respond to some things that we have typically been asked over the course of many years' experience with this program. The first one is, how many pre-AP courses should a sixth grader take? And we are very solid in our answer in that it depends. There are up to 5 options. We have as many students taking all pre-AP as take some, as take none. And students with strong grades in 5th grade are generally successful in pre-AP. And so we would encourage those students that have had good grades in elementary to attempt it in the junior high. Do pre-AP courses have more homework than academic? Typically, yes. But parents and students respond when we've asked them that the homework amount is generally appropriate and relevant to the course of study. Are students enrolled in pre-AP able to participate in extracurricular activities? Yes, many athletes, cheerleaders, music students successfully take pre-AP and AP courses throughout their junior high and high school careers. And junior high is a great opportunity to start this because there are fewer extracurricular options available to students. So their time is not as divided among these things at the junior high level. Can a student who does not enroll in pre-AP courses in 6th begin them in 7th? And the answer to that is generally yes. Math would be something that would require some special consideration, because remember that 6th grade course includes half of 7th grade instruction or curriculum. And so if they're entering from 6th grade academic to 7th grade pre-AP, they've missed a half a year of content. And so if they're strong in math, they should start math in 6th grade. Does pre-AP and pre-AP GT have different grade points? No, both of those, if they have pre-AP in the title, they both carry a weighted grade point. And those courses that are junior high courses do not contribute to the high school transcript, the official high school grade point average. If it's a high school course taken in junior high, it does, and Algebra 1 would qualify under that. But all the other junior high courses that they take that are not high school credit courses do not contribute to the high school grade point average and high school transcript. Why try pre-AP in junior high? Students who enroll in pre-AP and junior high benefit from early preparation and academic rigor to develop those skills to more easily transition to AP coursework. And the grades earned in junior high courses do not count toward the high school GPA. Nobody ever asks to see the junior high transcript. If they take a high school course, of course, that does count toward their high school GPA. And they will be taking that if they take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Can my child test out of a junior high course to accelerate to the next level? We have a process for that. It's called credit by exam. Your campus counselor has more information about that. The secondary campus counselor would probably be the best person to ask. I've given you some websites here for deadlines on making that application and additional information about that process. This process is handled through the assessment office and not through the Department of Advanced Academics. And so direct your questions to the Office of Assessment through your campus counselor. We're going to talk just briefly about pre-AP and gifted learners because our students identified as gifted are served within the pre-AP program in classes designated as pre-AP GT. And only students formally identified should enroll in courses designated pre-AP GT. Parents of 5th grade students who are identified for the secondary gifted program will receive notifications in the next week or so regarding GT course approvals. We have 2 groups of students. We have those newly identified for the secondary program, and we have challenge students who've been in the elementary program and are transitioning into the secondary program. Most GT secondary students are clustered in pre-AP classes. What is the advantage of GT identification in this situation? Well, the GT identification is designed to address a particular educational needs of the gifted learner. It helps us identify where those students are in the schedule, and we can identify the teachers that must be trained in GT when we know that they are working with students that have been identified. The teacher then is aware of the GT identification and can address the unique needs of gifted learners in that classroom. But the last two bullets on this slide are the most important. GT students are part of a learning community, and being a part of that learning community helps meet their intellectual needs, but it also helps meet their social and emotional needs by being with like-minded individuals. And so being able to cluster them is a very important part of the service that we provide our gifted students. A cluster of GT students also in a classroom creates a unique dynamic in the classroom, and the dialogue and the depth of conversation can be a very different experience in those classrooms when the GT students are together. We often get asked, is GT more work? But GT students should not receive assignments in addition to. They may receive assignments in lieu of the standard assignments. We would hope that teachers are assigning more open-ended and flexible assignments in which that allow the student to demonstrate their learning in a variety of ways. Should a student take all pre-AP GT classes? Again, it depends on the strengths and interests of the individual child, and it also depends on what we've identified the child for that makes them eligible to take those GT classes. If your child is not identified in all areas, they can enroll in pre-AP, and we also allow additional screening on an annual basis to add additional service areas if appropriate. If your child is approved for a GT course for the next year, but you decide not to enroll in that course, then you have effectively exited your child from GT, and for that particular subject area, they would have to be rescreened in the next school year for service in the following school year. If your child is not successful in the program, the GT facilitator can talk to you about exit policies. It is not a life sentence to be in GT program. Students can formally exit, or they can furlough. And a furlough is a temporary exit for very specific reasons, such as a schedule conflict, and furloughs are limited to a specific time frame. If you move from a different school zone in Katy ISD, or if there's a change in attendance zones that's created by the opening of a new school, if your child has been identified for the gifted program at one campus, they will simply join the GT program at the new campus. There is no drop-in service there. Okay, that effectively ends this presentation. We hope that we have provided you the information that will assist you in making decisions about secondary course options. We've provided information on the advanced course options for grade 6, and we've given you an explanation of how our GT students are served within the pre-AP program. For more information, you should attend the course selection nights as scheduled by your junior high campus that your child will attend. Consult the course planning guide or course catalog. Here's a picture of the 18-19 catalog, which should be distributed to every 5th grade student. It is a wealth of information and often an underused resource. Please examine that. It has lots of great information in it. It does change annually. We do update it and make adjustments to it as things change, so it does need to be reviewed each year, but it is a wealth of information, and I know that as 5th grade parents, it's your first exposure to this particular document. The other location for additional information is, of course, your junior high counselor. They will be at the course selection nights, and they're available to answer your questions as well.